It's become very critical to really examine the way a person reasons. Because if you leave it to, oh, they're a Christian, then you're in for a root shocker.
So do not be saying to yourself you need to marry Christian.
Remember that. I was just 16 when you took my virginity on your office floor. Do you remember that? You did things to my teenage body that had never and should have never been done.
Sunday service went straight to hell in Indiana after a woman confronted Pastor John Lowe in front of the whole congregation at New Life Christian Church. Tempers started flaring after the pastor who tried to confess left out the fact that the victim was only 16 when it happened.
Did you do it? That's all we need to know.
Yes, we did.
You didn't tell them she was 14 years old.
No, at 16.
Sorry, 16.
She was 16 years old, Jay. Okay, and it was wrong. I can't say it. I can't make it right. I can't make it any better.
And in a shocking twist, after his confession, church members surrounded Pastor John Lowe in a prayer circle and offered him forgiveness. And in a shocking twist, after his confession, church members surrounded Pastor John Lowe in a prayer circle and offered him forgiveness.
Congregation did.
And started praying for him.
The guy said they forgive him, just like that. All the innocence of the girl that he took, the torture, everything, the mental well-being, that was not a priority for them. It was, yes, he's accepted that he did it, and that's it.
These people are scary. They are scary because if they had been watching television and a man was arrested and the story was told that this is what the man did. This man defiled a 15-year-old who was under his tutelage or care or anything. They would all say, yeah, hang him by the balls.
Let him go animal.
But all of a sudden, exactly. So
it's a different set of rules.
So I'm telling you. So let me just let you know if you are watching this thing and it sounds like, oh, you cannot be here because this person or this will speak about us or Christians in this way, then there are two things that I would say to you. You better stay here so that the nonsense can be erased. The virus that is in the software that you downloaded can be erased from the system so that your life can make sense. Or you should put off the page because you're really not a person who needs a healthy life. So do not be saying to yourself you need to marry a Christian, you need to marry a human being. In the congregation would clap for you if you had come out and started telling a story about a woman who followed you into your hotel room. They will shout you down like, what are you trying to tell us? Or do you think we're stupid? Who are you trying to sell this story to? But just as I said, as long as it's a man of God, the whole point is if you're making choices based on the person is a Christian and that's the partner that you want, you are in for a shocker because you are choosing confusion. Right? This is somebody who, even when you're having conversations, they cannot tell you things. They can't tell you, you cannot have the full picture because they will always be debating whether or not you understand what is happening here because who knows what the spirit will say or what the spirit will do. People who have never practiced allow the brain to get used to deciphering situations and making sense of situations and taking decisions. Always deliberating on, do I understand what the things of the spirit? I need to go and check it with my father. We are all children of God. So how is it that God will be so sharp and allow me to be walking in darkness and only reveal the truth to these special people who are able to interpret it?
So partial, you mean, not impartial.
Yeah, so partial. Even when I can see that they do a lot of nonsense. Because you know there was a friend that I was spoiled with because when I talked about this guy, the one that molested what's his name? Dako's wife. So she started talking about we should be praying for him. And I'm like, I didn't want to say to her, if this thing happens to your daughter with another person that is not a pastor, you be telling me instead of, I said no, you can pray for him all you want, but first of all, these people should face the consequences of what they've done. And then you should be praying for him because they will be attacking them because I'm like, okay, no problem, you can pray. But the same judgment that will be given to a man on the streets who does this is what you're supposed to apply to any human being. You're also partially in the way that you think. Is that even a fair and Christian way to live life, to deal with human beings? You give some people favorable treatment, no matter the evil that they do. This is what you're getting. You're getting somebody who is not living in reality. You will be dealing with someone who will bring confusion into your life, right? Because the person, those are people who are claiming and clapping their hands for a person getting burned while the fabric they were wearing did not get burned. So this is what you're dealing with. So if you are still in the mindset of that this is a Christian that you need for you to be comfortable, that you have a partner that you can rely on, you have to think twice. Because if the person that you're dealing with is not somebody who is able to be reasonable and rational. And another thing is that they do not encourage you to be rational because they often hear that you do not understand the things of the spirit. And that is why it is okay to be clapping and applauding that the person
got God cannot understand the things of the spirit. That's how they confuse people.
Yeah. So if this is the way that you think, and if this is the way that you want the person that you are, this is the reason why you are living your life with a lot of confusion, because you are living by standards that aren't even standards, that they change depending on what's happening. It doesn't make sense. Even the Bible tells you, and this is a fact that you can verify in your own life, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. So what it tells you right there, unless your yes be your yes, let your no be your no, you will be able to make decisions in your life. You cannot be abiding by something that throws confusion into your mind, where you are never sure what to do. When you are not sure what to do, what does that do? That means that you are at the mercy of someone to interpret to you what to do. And you now end up with charlatans like these that claim that they are pastors and men of God to interpret to you, whereas you're seeing it right now playing out before all of us, that these same people that you are looking to interpret things to you, that is why your life is in confusion. That is why, yes, those are the things that you didn't realize, that all along you've been working with a faulty, corrupt software that that you've been programmed to live by. And that's what he was saying, that all those things have given you things to live by. It is programming, but we don't realize it. So this is not what. Do not stop being afraid of using reason, right? If you truly believe in God, then it means that intelligence that you are given is for a reason. Your senses are for a reason. If you see something that is wrong, somebody gets burned in your fabric that you're wearing, you should be more concerned that this person got burned, not that the fabric by your holy father, the holy man of God, is strong enough to not get burned. It's the rest of it. It is actually stupidity. There is no other word to describe what it is. So if you've been having a lot of confusion in your life, it is not meant to be an attack. I'm not intending to attack or to blame. I just want you to sit and recalibrate, and I will tell you wholeheartedly that even I have been in that position where I worked with this corrupt programming, and it brought confusion into my life. Without me knowing, you won't know that you're living, you are operating by confusion with the corrupt software. You won't know. But when it is brought to your notice now, just settle down. Be still. Be still. If you do believe that you really have the spirit inside of you, then be still and you will hear it. That's why you will hear. Even if you look at your own life, many times when you made mistakes, something told you that you shouldn't do this because of so. And it was clear. Don't do because of this, that. And you knew, but you chose to tell yourself. You chose to tell yourself. Instead, you will come up with something like, God, if it is not, then make it impossible for me to do it. And then you go ahead and do what you know that you shouldn't do. So let us be. It's even better that you make a mistake, knowing that you made that decision based on actually seeing, I shouldn't do this, and then you decide I won't do it. And if it turns out tomorrow that you made a mistake and you shouldn't have done it, fine. Than that you actually got a message in your spirit. You saw something, you sensed something with your senses, you're not supposed to do this, but you cast it into one of these big charlatans, is the person who deceived someone who is very close to me. Until tomorrow, she's crying, look at what I did to myself. Look at what I did. Because they were given advice about their family by this big charlatan, right? And they took that advice. And because of that, till tomorrow, their children, all the children that they have issues because of following this advice. And the reason they followed this advice, even though it was clear, like it was clear to even, it would have been clear to a 15-year-old, do not do this. But they knew, they were not supposed to do that. But because the advice came from someone that they felt can advise them, because this is a man of God in quotes, they took that advice, right? Because they felt they didn't understand the things of the Spirit. And this man told them, do this. And they did it. Until tomorrow, they're living with the pain of what they have done to the decision that they've taken. Crying every day and wondering if their children will make it to next year. Do you understand? So, yes, very clear decision that you could have taken, and you wouldn't even need anyone to tell you that this will be the result. But you decide to follow what a liar, a person who is lying to you that they hear from God, they know about God. And when that thing doesn't happen, they'll tell you that maybe you didn't have enough faith or something. That's the excuse. But now you're the one who's going to live with the results of the nonsense that you've adopted into your life. So that's really that's just the whole point that I wanted to make with this conversation. So do not be saying to yourself you need to marry a Christian. You need to marry a human being that has apollo, that has common sense. That reason that you can talk with and discuss things with.
Something funny, yeah? I mean, some people will say, oh yeah, that's been judgmental, but hey, when people send me friend requests on social media, I always do a check before I accept.
I know what you want to say.
One of the things, if I look at the things that are your page are one papa this, papa that, papa, automatically I don't need to go far. Once I see your first 3-4 posts and it's streams of joy or this or that, that's it. I can't be friends with you.
Yeah.
I just eliminate. So there might be good people, whatever, but I don't want to find out.
Yeah.
Like, for me, I'm not saying it's the best way, but it saves me, it keeps my own sanity, because I don't want people who that is their only
mentality
tool to see the world. I want people who I can relate with on a broader basis, not just from one narrow prism of religion. And what your page tells me about you, if this is what you're posting consistently, is that this is the narrow prism through which you see life. I'm saving myself trouble. Like, I don't want us to have issues, so I just block the person, delete the friend request, and move on.
The truth is that the people that you surround yourself with, the people that you interact with, they have a big influence on the way that your mind sees life and sees the world. And yes, this thing that you're saying, I used to do that too. But the reason why I'm a little more flexible now is because perhaps you will share one or two things from my page, from being around me, that could shine some light onto the dark path that you are walking. I don't mean to sound like I am better, but there is nothing that you want to do with a one-dimensional mind. Until you become sincere, until you stop being a liar and a pretender, I will distrust you when you come to introduce yourself as a Christian.
You need more than that to what's the word, to assess the person. The person needs much more than the badge of religion to show them who you are. So it's one thing to confess or profess to be a Christian, a Muslim, whatever. that shouldn't be all. Yeah, it's fine. Nothing wrong with that. But, so if I am looking for a partner, it's good that somebody presents themselves in this manner. But don't stop there. That is barely scratching the surface.
It's no longer good that they present in that manner. So it's a red flag. For me, now it is a red flag. It's no longer, it's a red flag, because once you present as that, then I'll need to find out whether your brain has uninstalled the virus. Right?
I'm saying this so that you don't exclude a good person only based on the fact that they are religious. Not every religious person is irrational, right? And I'm sure that's not what you're trying to say also. Not every religious person is irrational. But the real content of the person's character is not just in appellation. It's not in a badge that you wear to show me. And I need, if I want to be with the person, I need to see more than that badge that you are wearing. I need to see you believe.
Being a human being. Being human.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I need to see you live. I need to see you. That's how I know who you really are.
Even inside that, there's so much confusion in it that what you understand to be sensible and reasonable, to be workable, inside that may actually not be what that person understands. Because, for instance, these people that are talking about pregnancy for the Okafor man, all those are people that were his choir members and people that were seriously believing in Christianity, but somehow they gave excuses, just like this my friend that I talked about, will give an excuse for a man who is climbing a pulpit every day, and yet he's having sexual relations with you. So do you even understand what this, because, and some of them, I do believe that some of them actually felt that it was justifiable for one reason or the other. They justify it, like maybe they will say, after all, he's a man, what do you expect him to do? He's not married yet. They will justify one way or the other. And some people will actually buy things like they are tapping anointing from him, or that they're helping him to keep sane so that he doesn't go to so many other people. There will be all sorts of reasons. Remember, uninstall the wrong software or the corrupt programming that you've been dealing with so that your life can make meaning. Okay? Make sure that you do that this 2026. And I will always leave a link in the bottom here so that you can join our community where we are living life, being human and being sensible. Living outside of the programming. If you've been experiencing confusion in your life, it is because you're operating with the programming which is working countering your natural and spiritual person that you're supposed to be living as in this world. Okay? Make sure you share this video, like it so that the algorithm sends it out to more people, so that the bigger our community is, the better our world would be. Alright? Thank you for being with us and joining us in another episode.